Yo, how you doing, friends? You know who it is. It is I, Master of Earth, and we here together for another video. Before I even start this video, guys, I gotta thank y'all for sharing this time, allowing this to be possible, allowing this interchange to have existence. Thank you, guys. It's an honor for me to be able to interchange with you guys and to connect with consciousness. All right. Okay, guys, so straight to the point, right now on planet Earth, there are forces that are manipulating humans. I spoke about this in my previous video, but by now we should be aware that mind control, global mind control, is currently being practiced on planet Earth. And there are forces that are using mind control to change humans into something that they're not. Okay, they're basically trying to create an existence for us, and they want us to live that existence, and that existence is a false existence, guys. Anyways, in this video we're going to dive more into this subconscious mind control. I realize that there are still some topics that need attention before anything else. So in this video I'm going to focus on another form of mind control that basically changes humans into something that they're not. And all they're basically trying to do, guys, they're trying to basically make us less alive. They're trying to remove all of the essence, all of the life, all of the things that make us human. They're trying to get rid of it. They're trying to remove it from our bodies. They're trying to stop us from being who we truly are. So yeah, guys, in this video I'm gonna basically show you guys how right now on planet Earth the human body is being forced to assume a zombie-like existence. The life within human beings are now at a very low level, and in this video we're going to explore why. And real quick, guys, I need y'all to realize that human beings, every single last one of us, all of us are divine, and we need to realize that we have access to the source within us. We have access to the one consciousness, the universal energy field. Human beings are very magical, guys. We have powers and a lot of abilities that we are ignorant of. And I need for us to realize that one of the reasons why all of this mind control is literally going on, guys, forces are trying to prevent humans from knowing who they truly are. They are trying to create an existence for us that keeps us ignorant our whole lives of our capabilities, of our true nature, of our true identity, and so forth. Now, guys, how these beings operate is very simple. All they're trying to do, they're trying to create a disconnection within every human being that stops them from making access to who they truly are. Ladies and gentlemen, this inner source that every human being has access to, that's literally what they're trying to stop us from connecting with. This inner source, let's just call it our subconscious minds, the intelligence of our bodies. We need to realize that our bodies have its own intelligence, and the intelligence of our bodies are closer to who we truly are than the intelligence of our egos. And there are forces that are trying to prevent us from making a connection with ourselves. Okay, now, guys, now that we're on the topic of our body's intelligence, let's use this as an opportunity to learn about the center of our body's intelligence. Ladies and gentlemen, within our core, within our bellies, we have access to an intelligence that is beyond anything that we can imagine or anything that we can conceive. This intelligence within our cores has a direct link to the intelligence of the one mind, the intelligence of the universe itself. And we need to realize, guys, that all of these intuitions, all of these hunches, all of these feelings, all of these guides are literally coming from this intelligence that is being sourced from our cores. Ladies and gentlemen, we need to realize that within our cores lies an intelligence that is so precise, that is so accurate. It is the #1 navigational tool for most of our body's different biological functions and so forth. A real quick reminder, guys, all of our chakras, all of our energy lines, all of our energy channels are all being sourced from our cores. It is from our cores that all of these energy centers originate. And from our cores, these energy centers spread all across our bodies. Alright, our bodies is one big system. Our bodies is just one big system of energy, and we need to see our cores as an interception point for body consciousness and energy. Our bellies is the main hologram for the intelligence of our subconscious mind, the body's intelligence. And now, guys, in my video, specifically the one called The Science of Aging, within that video I explained that our intestines is really an energy processor. All information that the human body experiences, the intestines is specifically designed to process it. Whether it's information coming from our sight, whether it's sounds, whether it's our movements, whether it's the environment, whether it's food, it does not matter. Anything that has to do with our bodies, any type of interchange with energy, our intestines is made to process it. Most of the human body's biological functions, most of our biological functions are naturally designed to receive guidance from this intelligence center found within our cores. And the technology this intelligence center within our cores uses to distribute its intelligence all around their body. I would like everybody to know now that pressure is what the body uses to distribute this intelligence throughout our whole bodies. We need to see our cores as the main pressure point of our bodies. A lot of the body's different processes, a lot of our different biological processes, all of these things produce pressure, and the body is naturally designed to send all of this pressure to this intelligence center in our core. And this, of course, holds information, and once this pressure makes contact with this intelligence center within our cores, after it's processed, it is then distributed evenly, distributed where it needs to be in the body, and all of this is to keep the body in balance. The body needs guidance from this pressure point within our cores. Now, guys, the hologram for the pressure that is sent to the core to get processed, the hologram for this pressure found in the body is what is known as the breath. the information that our cores use to distribute all of its intelligence throughout the body is the breath. That is the hologram for the pressure that the body sends to the core. Ladies and gentlemen, let's realize something right here. Human beings are naturally supposed to go through life functioning and operating from their subconscious minds. Let's understand how the subconscious mind functions within the human body. And ladies and gentlemen, it is very simple. Wherever pressure goes, wherever pressure is, that's where the subconscious mind will activate. We are supposed to live anchored within the intelligence of our bodies. There, we will have access to the intuitions we need to stay alive. There, we'll have access to the hunches, the feelings, the instincts, all of the reflexes, all the information that we need for the moment, for the now. Human beings are naturally designed to operate, to always be anchored to this intelligence source. That's one of the only places where we can get accurate and reliable information about the now. A lot of intuitions, a lot of our reflexes, a lot of our instincts, a lot of these messages that our bodies are trying to give us never get up here because of this manipulation, guys. They have created a disconnection within us that stops us from making access to this intelligence. The direct hologram for this manipulation can be found in the way that we breathe. Once again, guys, we need to realize that the breath, our breathing, encases the pressure that our bodies use to distribute its intelligence throughout itself. Most adults on planet Earth breathe with their chests, they breathe with their mid-torsos, they breathe shallowly, they are breathing from other pressure locations. And the way that the human body is originally designed, our main pressure point is our cores, is our bellies. Right now on planet Earth, most human beings do not breathe from their subconscious minds. Wherever there is pressure, that is where consciousness activates. Right now, guys, due to the fact that we are not breathing properly, this manipulation has found a way for humans to prevent themselves from activating their subconscious minds. Ladies and gentlemen, due to the fact that our cores are no longer our main pressure point, instead we are breathing from our chest, our mid-torso, we're breathing from different regions. Because our cores are no longer our pressure point, our main pressure point, it is no longer getting activated, and unknowingly we are forcing ourselves to no longer assume a subconscious reality. Forces do not want humans to have a connection with their subconscious minds, and one of the only ways to make this possible, a disconnection must be made. They must find a way for pressure to not activate our subconscious minds. And ladies and gentlemen, due to the fact that we are no longer breathing anchored from our bellies, anchored from our cores, we are forcing pressure to go to places where it shouldn't go. And one of the direct results of this manipulation, guys, all humans are being changed. We are being forced to assume a conscious existence, guys. Because the pressure is no longer being anchored within our cores, instead the pressure is being anchored in our higher chakras and is really going to places where it shouldn't be. We are now activating those parts of ourselves, and most human beings that are not breathing subconsciously will assume a conscious existence. We need to operate from our subconscious minds, and when the pressure is sent to places where it shouldn't be, we'll operate from whatever pressure location it might be. Right now on planet Earth, most human beings are functioning from their egos. The way that they're breathing is forcing them to assume an ego existence, guys. And here's something that I would like everybody to realize. Ladies and gentlemen, the ego is a linear processor. It's not even able to function within the now. It doesn't even have the capacity to even properly navigate the body based on what's happening in the now. And when human beings function from their egos, when they function from perception, if these perceptions are not true, if these perceptions do not coincide with the intelligence of their body, if these intelligence are false, oh my gosh, there will be all types of errors, all types of diseases, all types of misfunctions, all types of problems that will go on in our bodies when we operate from pressure locations that are outside of our subconscious intelligence. The intelligence within our cores is one of the only places in our bodies that is able to parallel process. And what parallel process even means, parallel processing, that means the capacity to process billions and trillions and zillions of bits of information per moment, okay? Our cores is one of the only places within our bodies that has that capacity, that has the capacity to be in the now. Now guys, our course is basically designed for as much information as possible within any given moment. Humans need to operate from their parallel processor. Only parallel processors can give the body adequate information it can use to operate within the now. When we force our bodies to assume an ego-based existence, a lot of our instincts, a lot of our reflexes, a lot of our intuitions, they will never get to us, guys. And all of this is a direct result of the disconnection they're trying to create in us. Guys, right now, we are being forced to assume a false existence, guys. Like I said in my previous videos, guys, we have been studied and they got us down to a science. Everything that they do is all designed to create specific changes within us. Just to sum everything up, guys, all of it is designed to force us to assume a linear reality. They are literally changing our divine nature. They're changing our original life. Whether we know it or not, our bodies operate through energy, and depending on how our bodies are structured, this oftentimes correlate with the kind of energy we interchange with. Guys, I would like to bring something to your awareness that is being hidden from the public. They do not want human beings to be aware of this. This intelligence is playing an active role in everything that has to do with your life right now, guys. This intelligence within our cores, our subconscious minds, it will attract all forms of life that is on a similar frequency to our overall aura. Within our bellies, the intelligence there, it produces a gravitational field, ladies and gentlemen. These forces do not want humans to be aware of this gravitational field, guys. But I would like everybody to know now, and this is what's going on behind the scenes. No matter what we think, no matter what we're taught, this is how the body functions, guys. Your subconscious mind is a magical tool, is a magical divine source that has been given to you from the Creator. And we can use this divine tool to connect with anything in existence. And we need to realize our bodies are used to react and respond to the now. Our bodies are used to react to what our subconscious minds are attracting to it. And our subconscious is literally attracting at all times. At all times it's attracting the now to us. This divine energy source, this gravitational field, this power to attract life, alright? Forces are forcing humans to misuse this divine energy source, guys. Forces are forcing us to use this energy source improperly. Instead of for us to use this divine connecting power source to connect us with life, to connect us with all these beautiful things we interchange with. No, ladies and gentlemen. These forces are forcing us to use this energy to disconnect from the world instead of connecting with the world. And as you can see by now, this goes totally against the original nature of our subconscious minds. Our subconscious minds are designed to connect with life. They are forcing our subconscious minds to use that energy to disengage from the world, to disconnect us from the world. So because of this, guys, we end up living a false existence. We end up assuming a false reality. We end up living life in ways that are against our nature, and we will not even be aware this is going on. They are trying to produce all of the changes necessary within us to anchor us within a linear reality. In reality, guys, there is no such thing as anything being linear. But these forces try their #1 hardest to give humans as many illusions as possible that will force them to actually believe the universe is linear, to actually believe life is linear. Now, guys, in order to give the illusion that life is linear, they literally have to slow down the life process. They have to find a way to slow down our subconscious minds from connecting with life. Subconscious reality is powered by connection, guys. And whether we know it or not, connection is what life is all about. Within subconscious reality, our bodies are connected to the now, it's connected to nature, it's connected to all of these possibilities. And linear reality is the complete opposite. It's the best analogy to put it so you can comprehend the difference between a linear reality and our true, natural, original reality is this. Within the now, infinite possibilities are open, infinite portals, infinite codes, all types of formulas. All these things are open to the body. The body can receive all of these codes, and it is originally designed to operate through this infinite possibility source, which we know as the now, okay? The range of possibilities in linear reality is not coming from an infinite source. Instead, the range of possibilities is coming from a limited source. All of the possibilities will be coming from the memories. Everything that goes on in the now will first be filtered by memories before it will even be experienced. And that's just how linear reality operates. It operates through disconnecting oneself from all the things that doesn't coincide with your memories and connecting oneself with all of the things that basically approve your memories. Within the now, there will always be limitations, restrictions, buffers. There will always be interferences stopping our bodies from being able to be present totally within the now. In linear reality, the body behaves as if the now is not even going on. The body's either stuck in the future, it's either stuck in the past, it's probably stuck in an illusionary perception. But no matter what, linear reality always forces the body to never access the now. Instead, it's always anchored within an interference that prevents it from being able to operate fully in what's going on within the now moment. And By restricting the body's ability to be present, by restricting the body's ability to be in the now moment, this stops our subconscious minds from being able to connect with this moment. And they are basically trying to stop this process. They're trying to create all types of interferences. They want to make our bodies dumb. They want to prevent us from being able to respond accordingly to the now. Everything in the universe has its own specific vibration. Everything in the universe operates through energy, and how this connection works, the way that the subconscious mind connects with things, it uses the technology of energy. The human body will only connect with things it has the energy for. The body's ability to react to the now moment is what determines our energy. Alright? Our ability to react to the present moment is what determines the connections our body is able to make. Ladies and gentlemen, what I would like everybody to realize now, your subconscious mind has all the energy it needs to attract all of your wildest dreams. It already has everything it needs to attract everything that you want. What's stopping our subconscious minds from doing what it's here to do is all of the interferences, all of the blockages, all of the disconnections these forces are creating. And basically, guys, all of this is done to force humans to assume a linear reality. In subconscious reality, as we already know by now, the body is having access to this unlimited source of energy, this unlimited source of power, and the body will be operating on billions and trillions of bits of information within the moment, within the now. Alright? That will be the energy the body will be operating on, instead of 10 bits of information coming from a linear reality. Having less energy will make even the simplest attractions very hard for the body. Guys, the best analogy to put it to you guys, once again, we can see the human body as an antenna. The subconscious mind is a magical antenna, and it has the ability to tune in to infinite different realities, infinite different dimensions, infinite different energies, okay? You can see all these possibilities as a full 360-degree circle, okay? A circle, they say, has infinite sides. A circle has an infinite number of sides, and anywhere within this circle, the subconscious mind can tune into. Life, guys, life calls for movement with our divine antennas. We constantly have to move our antennas to the appropriate dimension, to the appropriate reality based on what's going on in the now. And linear realities is the opposite. Instead of tuning in our antennas to the different realities, we stay in the same frequency range. Now, guys, the ability for our subconscious mind to tune into these different realities and dimensions and whatnot is all coming from the different signals and the different reactions that go on within our bodies within every given moment. At every given moment, our bodies will use different body parts, different signals, different rhythms, different pulses to alert the body on how to move during the moment, to alert the body how to tune itself to what's appropriate based on what's going on within the moment. And basically, all of the mechanisms the body used to tune itself, they prevent these parts of our bodies from being used, and this will prevent us from being able to properly attune to what the now is giving us. Instead, we will be forced to operate within a linear reality. We will be forced to operate not based on what's happening within the now, but we'll be operating based on what we think is appropriate to do within the now, based on our memories. And yeah. So in a way, guys, they're literally trying to kill the human body, because it is the body that is the actual tool that we use to tune into these realities. The body itself is what the subconscious use to trigger us on how to react within the moment. And they're basically trying to kill the body. They do not want the body to be used as a subconscious tool for the now. Instead, they want the body to be used as a tool for linear reality. They don't want humans to realize they have a power source that is capable of attracting anything. So, what they do is they force the body to operate on a very low amount of energy. And ladies and gentlemen, that's literally what linear reality means. A linear processor can only process about 10 bits of information per moment. This information is what the body will use to operate in the now. Less information is less energy, guys. The more energy we supply to our subconscious minds, the faster and easier this connection process is. And ladies and gentlemen, this is basically the science behind the law of attraction. The law of attraction is literally this intelligence within our cores, ladies and gentlemen. This is the source of all of the things in our life. It creates a gravitational field, and it just attracts. It just attracts non-stop our whole lives. And when the body's operating on a low amount of energy, this is where the subconscious mind control comes in. They find ways to restrict life within our bodies. They find ways to restrict movement. And movement is what is used to power all of the functions within our cores. Ladies and gentlemen, the intelligence within our cores make use of the technology known as pulse. The subconscious mind gives the whole body pulses and signals and all types of information, and this is sourced by the breath. The fact that the body is alive due to us breathing, there's basically a distribution of pulses and intelligence all around our bodies. And our subconscious use movement, all right? It moves our body parts in order to distribute this intelligence based on what's going on in the moment. All movements trigger different reactions within the human body, and movement is the key technology for all the different functions our bodies partake in. The subconscious mind uses movement. The way that they're manipulating our cores, they are doing it by changing the structure and nature of our cores. I explained this in my dehydration epidemic video, but guys, our cores are specifically designed to only process liquids and things like air and subtle things of that nature. Right now on planet Earth, human beings are forcing our intestines to process unnatural materials, and most of the times these materials do not hydrate the body. Instead, they dehydrate the body, and they end up becoming mass within our cores. These foods oftentimes end up becoming mass within our intestines, and if we do not remove this mass, they become somewhat of a glue, some type of suction. And as long as this material is found within our intestines, it will serve as a restriction of movement. It will be a type of glue structure, and it will stop the movement of our cores. Our main movement lines all intersect in our cores. Any type of movement that we could possibly do with our bodies, they all incorporate our cores. Every single movement that we can possibly do, our center of gravity is always a factor in the movements. By affecting the center point of gravity, that's the easiest way to affect the whole mass of an object. There will always be some type of buffer, some type of restriction. By storing filth and mass and all types of harsh materials within our intestines, we will stop our intestines from being able to do what it's here to do, and that's to process subtle things, the subtle things that make up our reality. These materials prevent our cores from being able to process the entire present moment. Alright guys, so in a nutshell, they are literally using dense materials, they are storing dense materials in our intestines to become memory for our intestines. They're trying to give our body a type of body memory that it will have to carry within every moment we experience. And as long as these blockages are in our bodies, as long as this material, as long as we're carrying these materials in our intestines, it will be body memory that will stop our intestines from being able to experience the entire present moment. A lot of the energy that could have gone to the present moment will go to these materials within our intestines. The energy we could use to connect with the world, we'll be using that energy to digest all of these materials we have put in our intestines. And basically, guys, they're just using these materials to prevent the motion of our intestines. We must remember our intestines supply intelligence to all the different areas in our bodies, and movement is the technology our intestines use. Our ability to move is what determines the kind of messages our subconscious minds will be able to distribute to our bodies, the kind of messages that our subconscious minds will be able to distribute to us. By giving our intestines materials, memories, all types of blockages, these things will serve to prevent certain type of movements within the now moment. And if our bodies are not able to move in certain type of ways, if our organs are restricted in their movement, certain types of information, certain type of signals will never get circulated throughout the body. And that's one of the ways they are manipulating us. They are making changes to our cores. They are ensuring that our cores have extra data. It has extra memory. It has extra stuff that it has to deal with within the now to prevent it from having energy to completely deal with the whole now. It will always have some type of buffer. All these changes are not instant. All these things take time, guys. So a good analogy, a good way to see it, we can basically say when we're infants, we are 100% connected to our subconscious minds, and our subconscious minds are 100% connected to us. Within time, guys, gradually, as we force our cores to assume a different nature, this connectivity will begin to decrease. And a good way to observe this manipulation, just observe children, guys. Children and young people are less affected by this manipulation, but as we grow older, the effects are more and more apparent in how we operate our bodies. Okay guys, before we go any further in this video, I would like to stop the video here and basically dive into how our bodies are constructed on a deeper level. I intend for this video to truly give us an idea of how the human body operates on a deeper level. By us learning about how the human body operates, it will give us the best idea of how all of these things are basically going on. It will give you a better idea of all of the different strategies and all of the different plots against us. By learning how the body operates at its deepest level, it will allow us to see more and be more and so forth. So let's do that now. Alright, now guys, what we have here is a human child. And before we go any further, let's just have a quick recap on a few things. Now guys, like I already stated, the intelligence of our bodies is basically sourced by our cores, and from there it spreads throughout the whole body. It creates an energy highway that spreads all throughout the body, and no matter what, all the energy lines all eventually connect and are sourced by this original energy center within our cores. This intelligence is concentrated within our stomachs, and gradually it begins to spread throughout our whole entire system. Alright, so guys, as we already know by now, our true identity, we are in reality consciousness. We are the life essence, the boundless life essence that is supplying life to all things in existence. Now guys, the body knows who we are. The body is aware that it is being sourced by boundless infinite energy called consciousness. And what I would like everybody to realize now, the human body is naturally designed to be the perfect vessel for this boundless energy called consciousness. Now guys, once consciousness enters a human form, once consciousness anchors itself within a human body, the human body tries its number one best to be as connected as it can to life, to be as connected as it can to consciousness. Now guys, as we already know by now, who we are, consciousness, this intelligence source, as we already know by now, this intelligence source can be holographically found in the intelligence of our cores. This consciousness hologram distributes its intelligence all throughout the body, and this intelligence can be found in all of the main liquids of our body. all of the liquids like blood, our cerebral spinal fluid, all of the many liquids that power our bodies, these liquids are all getting its intelligence. It's all getting its function from this intelligence in our cores. The totality of all of these fluids that power up our bodies, all of these liquids that are getting access and are being anchored within this intelligence within our cores. We need to see this intelligence for what it is. And that is an independent living organism. Within our bodies, we have a living, simple life form. We can see these fluids as a single cell. One giant single cell. Now guys, in reality, the subconscious mind is these fluids that power the whole body. All of the fluids that make up the human body, ladies and gentlemen, this is the true human being. This is what truly is powering the body. The subconscious mind takes on a physical form in all of these liquids that are powering the body. And I would like everybody to know now, this is our true identity. Okay, so with that being said, guys, we can see the body as a container of fluids. All right, we can see our arms of being a container of fluids. Everywhere in our bodies contain consciousness. Everywhere in our bodies contain the subconscious mind. And I would just like to give you a better idea of how the body is constructed on a deeper level. Just like liquids, just like in real time how gravity basically forces liquids to flow to the lowest level, to basically drop, the same thing goes on in the body. So basically guys, our many different movements on a deeper level, it can be seen as liquids powering these movements. For example, us walking, basically the way that we swing our arms, if we imagine that liquids is being contained in our arms, and just like if we was to swing water back and forth, this will cause a momentum, a type of force to be created. And this same movement is found in the many different ways that we move. If we walk, our arms will naturally move as if water is inside of it and is constantly swaying back and forth, okay? If I was to stand here, me being stable is basically from all of the water dropping all the way down to my feet. Alright, on a deeper level, all of our movements can be seen as if it's being powered by liquids. The whole body is basically a mass of fluids, a body of fluids. And yeah, we can see our body parts as containers of this fluid. And basically, our true identity is all of these liquids that power up the body. And I know there's somebody out there like, what? That sounds crazy to call us liquids. The body is obviously solid. We can't be liquids. But allow me to explain, guys, real quick. In reality, who we truly are, we are consciousness. We are infinite, boundless energy. And the human body is designed to be the perfect vessel for this infinite being, which we are, consciousness, okay? Now, guys, let's say that consciousness, who we truly are, we are boundless energy, okay? This is a perfect boundless circle of energy, all right? Perfect boundless circle of energy, all right? And now, this is the human body, right here. This is the human body. Just gonna draw a quick human inside here, all right? Ladies and gentlemen, now that we are in human bodies, we need to realize that the human body still sees us as this boundless cloud of infinite divine energy. I would like everybody right now to use their imaginations, okay? This ball of energy is filled with all of the fluids that are charged with the intelligence of our cores within our bodies, okay? This boundless energy is filled with nothing but fluids, okay? What I would like you to see now, the way the human body is constructed, imagine all of these liquids being wrapped around our skeleton. Okay? So basically, when all of these fluids wrap themselves tightly around our bodies, these fluids become muscles, tendons, skin, and everything that we see now. But on the deeper level of how our bodies are constructed, our bodies are still operating as if it's a boundless cloud of energy. The human body is specifically designed to be the vessel of boundless energy, and around every human being we create a sphere of movement potential. We can see this perfect ball of energy. We can see that's the human aura, okay? The human body is constructed in such a way it should be able to move in all types of directions, all right? To move in all types of directions and to maintain the original nature of who we are, boundless energy. The human body is supposed to operate with a boundless movement potential. This movement potential, this energy of possibilities, this is who we truly are. Even though what we see is a solid human being, all right, nothing has changed, guys. We are still the boundless, divine, infinite energy we have always been. Consciousness basically has two forms of movement, two forms of activity, all right? And basically, these two forms of movement is the consciousness has the ability to expand itself, to be expanded consciousness, and consciousness also has the ability to contract itself, which is known as contracted consciousness, all right? Consciousness can either expand or contract, and even though we're in these human bodies, the human body still retains this ability, all right? The human body has primarily two forms of movement, and those movements are expansion and contraction. Everywhere in our bodies are able to do these primarily two different forms of movement. Within our bodies, everywhere is able to expand or contract. And you can also associate this with the ability to open and close, all right? The whole body is constructed through spirals. Okay guys, so just like a spiral, how you have to stretch it to get it to expand, and you have to relax it to allow it to return back to its original position. The human body is basically constructed in the same way. Expansion energy is for disconnecting from source in order to perform actions, while contracting energy is for returning to source to obtain energy for actions. Okay? Alright, so like I said, the human body makes use of expansion energy and contracting energy, and all of our movements on a deeper level, it makes use of expansion energy and contracting energy. We won't be able to walk unless our legs are able to open and close. We won't be able to talk unless our mouths are able to open and close. No matter what we do, our bodies are making use of this principle. So expansion energy basically uses the energy of our core, the energy of our source, to perform actions. And contracting energy is all about returning to our source. And just like a spiral, once you allow it to return to its original state, energy is generated, kinetic energy is created, because now within that spiral there is now free energy once you allow it to return to its original state. Anytime that we make use of contraction energy, this generates a negative charge within the body. Anytime that the body makes contact with its source, anytime the body contracts within itself, anytime it anchors itself within the core, all right, the body will produce energy. And this can be seen in all of the different activities we do that uses contraction energy. If you was to ball up your fist real tight and squeeze it, you will feel power. If you want to jump, you will first have to contract your body, then you will be able to jump, all right? To throw a punch, you have to contract your body, then you have to expand your body, all right? I would just like everybody to know the human body makes use of both contraction energy and expansion energy. Life will not be functional without the two. So all you have to take from this, guys, expansion energy is for temporarily disconnecting from source to perform actions, while contracting energy is all about returning to source to generate energy, to generate power for actions, all right? So real quick, guys, all I would like you to know, because our bodies are constantly expanding and contracting, is constantly doing this, energy is produced. All of our movements, in some way, shape, or form, it will produce energy. Now, friends, since all of our movements produce energy in some way, shape, or form, our outer movements and our inner movements always produce energy. And due to the fact that the body is being powered by the breath, there's constantly pulses and information traveling throughout the body. Because all these things are going on all the time, we must realize that at every given moment, within every now, there is always a distribution of subconscious intelligence within our bodies. At all moments, we have a flow of intelligence that is always flowing through our bodies, and this is what's powering all of our many different biological functions. Now guys, what I would like everybody to know now, the efficiency of this distribution of intelligence, how efficient this flow of information is, all depends on our distance away from our source. Like we already know by now, the source of the human body is found within our cores. All of our liquids are sourced by our cores, and basically the body is designed in such a way, all of its energy processes, all of its meridians, everywhere is sourced by the core. Now guys, as we know by now, the human body is capable of expanding and contracting, and what I would like you to know is that compact positions, contracted positions, positions that are compact, make the distribution of this intelligence very easy for the body. Alright? And expanded positions, positions that keep the body expanded, makes this distribution harder. Okay? So the closer we are, the closer our bodies are to our source, the more anchored we are to our cores, the easier this distribution of intelligence within the body. And the further we are from source, the further a body part is from source, the harder it is for this distribution of intelligence. So guys, the formula, we can basically say contracting energy, which means returning to our source. Contracting energy is sourced by grounding the body. You know, grounding the body and making it compact. This is what sources contraction within the body. When we ground ourselves, we usually contract our bodies. And the expression of energy is what sources expansion energy. Alright? So as you can see, when we express energy, we're at the farthest point away from our source. Alright? But when we ground ourselves, we're at the closest to our source. Alright guys, so with that being said guys, we must realize the human body at a deeper level, it is able to embody all of the frequencies of consciousness. Whether we know it or not, all of our movements will become a direct expression of consciousness energy. Okay, now guys, right here, this is basically the table of energy, and this is basically the energy that is able to be experienced through a human body. And real quick guys, just like before, consciousness has two primary directions. Consciousness can either expand or it can contract. Now guys, this chart, this scale, it starts from 0, meaning death, and it goes all the way to 1000. 1000 is the max, and that's enlightenment. Of course, there is no limit to energy. Of course, there's no limit to consciousness. But in the human form, I'm going to use this table, 0 to 1000, just to make it simple for everyone. Alright? Our movements will always generate energy. And the energy that is generated, the amount of energy that is generated, our bodies will use that to tune us into one of these scales of operation. Alright? Now on a deeper level, when we look closer, you can basically see a lot of emotions that some people experience. You got humiliation, you got guilt, fear, desire, anger, pride, courage, acceptance, reason, love, all of these different emotions, all of these different levels of consciousness, these levels of energy. Now guys, this is a little ahead of schedule, but every movement that we do creates energy, and basically all unnatural movements are designed to prevent subconscious energy production. All right, and the subconscious mind, it only operates from 200 and above. All of these things promote the subconscious mind, and basically anything below 200, this does not strengthen our subconscious mind. It instead cuts off our subconscious mind, and this is contracted consciousness. Contracted consciousness represents the ego. Ladies and gentlemen, we must understand that the way consciousness views our body, the way the subconscious functions, it functions as if the whole body is a brain, all right? And basically, expanded states of consciousness require us to use our bodies in a holistic way. Just to sum it up, guys, expanded states of consciousness is powered by fusing both hemispheres of our brain, by operating in balance, operating in the union of both hemispheres of our brain. And this basically sums up to us moving in ways that promote brain balance, moving in ways that incorporate our bodies in holistic ways, okay? And contracted states of consciousness is all about using the body in ways that do not promote balance, using the bodies in ways that tend to have us lean to one side of our brain more than the other side. And anytime that we separate our brains, anytime that we move in a way that promotes separation within us, this oftentimes allows us to experience duality, and this sums up to us experiencing an ego consciousness, contracted consciousness, all right? In order for us to be more subconscious, we have to operate in balance. We have to operate with both poles of our brain, and this will sum up to us having better feelings, having better emotions, having better thoughts, and all the other good stuff. I just want y'all to see that formula. Contracted consciousness is all about using one side of your brain, while all of the expanded states of consciousness is all about using your brain in balance, using both sides of your brain. And we need to see that our whole body is a brain, and our activities, what we engage in, is what determines if we're using both of our brains or just one of them. So guys, as you can see, the fact that the human body can experience contracted consciousness, and the fact that the human body can experience expanded consciousness, this just goes to show the human body is the perfect vessel of consciousness. We need to see that everything that has to do with our bodies is related to consciousness, and our bodies are basically assuming consciousness nature. Consciousness has the ability to expand itself, to contract itself. It has the ability to experience all energy charges, and so forth. And these bodies are designed to allow consciousness to retain all of its properties and qualities. The fact that we're able to have egos, the fact that we're able to experience expanded consciousness, this just goes to show how infinite human beings are. Human beings are boundless energy. We are a boundless mass of energy, and we are infinite. We're able to experience any type of energy without restriction. These bodies are perfect. It's perfectly designed to experience energy on all wavelengths, because the human body is specifically designed to house consciousness. And I just would like all of y'all to Remember this and realize this, because we'll return to this within this video. I had to break down a few things. Now guys, now that we know how the body is constructed on a deeper level, now that we know about how our original divine nature is, let's go further into how we operate within subconscious reality. Now guys, here we have a young child, and let me give this guy a fro before we even continue. Alright, the way that we are originally designed, the way that the human body is supposed to operate, everywhere in our bodies is supposed to have direct access to this intelligence. Now guys, children are operating with a better connection than adults, as we know by now. So let's just assume this child is 100% connected to their subconscious minds. Now guys, the difference between subconscious reality and linear reality, the difference between how children experience life opposed to us, children do not operate based on their egos. All of their operations, all of their activities, everything that they do is all being sourced by this intelligence here. Children operate based on the guidance from this intelligence. This intelligence will use primarily feelings, intuitions, hunches, reflexes, instincts. This intelligence will use energy put in motion to guide children on how to operate, and anywhere within our bodies that is making access to this boundless energy, to this intelligence source, it will be able to function independently in the now. This intelligence makes the whole body intelligent. Imagine seeing the world through your hands. Imagine hearing with your feet. Imagine using your skin to see who's behind you. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the reality of who we truly are. This is the reality of how our bodies should be used. As long as our bodies can make contact to this intelligence source, all of the information this intelligence source is getting from the now, our bodies will be able to operate independently. Everywhere in our bodies will be made intelligent. And ladies and gentlemen, we need to see our five senses can be experienced anywhere in our bodies. This is why it is important for us to realize we do not have arms, we do not have heads, we do not have eyes, we do not have all of these different body parts. The human body does not operate as if it has body parts. The human body operates as if it's boundless energy. All of these things are concepts. They're literally programs in our minds that are stopping us from seeing the truth about our bodies. Consciousness does not specialize itself, guys. As long as consciousness can have access to a physical form, it will still retain its qualities. It will still retain its properties. As long as our body parts are able to receive this intelligence from our cores, we'll be able to use our bodies in ways that we currently can't imagine, guys. Consciousness does not differentiate. Consciousness does not specialize. Consciousness does not separate. As long as consciousness is making access to the body, There is nothing consciousness can do that the body can't do. I hope now we have a greater idea of how our bodies truly operate. Now guys, these forces basically find a way to specialize the human body. Can you believe that? A boundless, infinite life form, they have found a way to specialize it. Alright, so as we know by now, the human body is capable of experiencing all frequencies of consciousness, and right now the human body is being configured to only experience energy frequencies that are not subconscious. We are basically being designed, we are being specialized to experience a life that is not anchored within our subconscious. Ladies and gentlemen, specializing consciousness is all about forcing the body to do specific things instead of being what it is, and that is a boundless free organism. They're trying to force our bodies to be in a particular format. And basically, guys, we have been studied, we know this, and we must realize that all of our movements is literally how we experience the different frequencies of consciousness. The way we move gives off different reactions in our bodies, and that's what we use to experience ourselves. That's what we use to experience life. And basically, guys, they have selected our movements for us, and they are designing the body in such a way to always experience the ego. Now, ladies and gentlemen, specializing the body is all about forcing the body to go against its nature, okay? Once the body is specialized, it will be able to go against its nature, and it will be unable to assume its original nature. Ladies and gentlemen, the way that this specialization works, as we know by now, the human body is at a deeper level made up of liquids, okay? This specialization is directed to all of the liquids that make up the human body. As we know by now, the intestines, our subconscious mind, is the source of all of the liquids, basically powering up our whole bodies. And the way that this specialization works, ladies and gentlemen, we need to understand what this water is that is powering up our whole body. Ladies and gentlemen, this water that is powering our bodies can be termed what we call the energy body, all right? All of these waters that is being sourced by our subconscious mind, these waters, these fluids is what creates the physical body. These fluids are what creates the emotional body. These fluids are what create the energy body. These fluids encase all of the bodies that have to do with us, okay? And specializing consciousness is all about configuring these liquids that make up our bodies. Ladies and gentlemen, the physical body, our physical frame, will always follow the liquids of the subconscious mind. And if we're able to configure these liquids through specializing them to be in a particular format, and right now they're trying to specialize our waters to be an ego format, this will cause the physical body to just assume whatever format it is, okay? The way that this manipulation works, guys, once they're able to format the liquids within our bodies, once they're able to format our energy bodies, no matter what we do physically, whether we're standing, walking, running, sleeping, it does not matter. Our bodies will always assume whatever configuration the energy body is in. And here's a quick example, okay? For example, if the energy body is more dominant on the right side than on the left side, this will make an individual walk more dominantly on their right side. This will make an individual stand more dominantly on their right side. This will make an individual sit more dominantly on their right side. All I want you to see, guys, anything that happens to the energy body, the physical body will be forced to just follow. And basically, the easiest way to ensure that we're ego-based humans is to configure the energy body to be ego-based. And this is all sourced by imbalance. The ego is sourced by using the body in imbalanced ways. The ego is sourced by refraining from using your body as one unit. And basically, guys, these forces are trying to ensure our energy bodies are always imbalanced, so that our physical bodies will follow that pattern and be imbalanced at all times. And that's just how this stuff works. All right. Now, guys, the best way to understand how the ego works within the body, and the best way to understand how the subconscious work, we can see these two modes of operation as an energy field, okay? When the human body is being operated from the ego energy field, when the ego is in operation, all right, this energy field that is now being operated within the body, this energy field will always force the body to separate itself. This energy field will always encourage the body to use a body part, to specialize a certain area within our bodies to get a specific job done. All right? The ego energy field basically activates when we refrain from using our body holistically. Anytime that we separate ourselves, anytime that we use a body part and specifically specialize this body part to do a task, this basically strengthens the ego. The energy field of the ego uses the body in this manner. And basically, guys, the energy field of the subconscious mind, it encourages the body to operate holistically. If there's an activity, if there's something that we're trying to do, the subconscious energy field will encourage the body. It will encourage the whole body to participate in the completion of whatever activity we're trying to do. Operating with the subconscious mind will encourage the body to operate as one whole piece, while the ego tends to make us use body parts. It makes us specialize the body part to do something instead of using our whole bodies. So basically, guys, they're trying to force us to operate as if the human body is made up of body parts. They're trying to force us to have body parts. And this basically goes against the nature of how our bodies are designed at its deepest level. Our bodies are designed to be used subconsciously, and this means as one whole piece. We must see the body as a water-based life form, and everywhere in our bodies is meant to get an equal distribution of this life form, this water. When everywhere in our bodies get an equal distribution of this water, this will make the body operate in symmetry. The body will operate holistically. The body will operate as if it's one piece, as if it's one unit. Animals go their whole lives operating subconsciously, and this is sourced by how they move. At all times, animals operate through symmetry, and us, on the contrary, we are being specialized to have body parts. By specializing consciousness, this forces imbalanced distributions of consciousness throughout the whole body. And all that they want, guys, they just want to create places in our bodies that are unable to get a proper distribution of consciousness energy. Animals go their whole lives operating through their subconscious minds because all they know is balance. They are ignorant of imbalance, guys. They are ignorant of duality. They can only experience a balanced existence. Instead of using our limbs in the same overall type of way, and this encourages balance within the body. This encourages the union between both of our brains. Instead for us to use our limbs in the same type of way, seeing our hands as if it's another pair of feet, no. These beings are specializing the body to have body parts, using our hands for particular activities, using our feet for particular activities, trying to force an ego existence on us, making the body do things that are impossible for natural beings to do, that are impossible for animals to do. Now, guys, I would like you to know something that's kind of interesting, okay? Anything that is man-made, any object, anything that is man-made, usually encourages the activation of the ego. Most man-made objects are not designed in a way that will activate our subconscious mind. Most humans that produce all of these technologies that we end up using, they are unaware of how the human body functions on a deeper level, and most of the man-made objects that we interface with, that we use, oftentimes force us to activate our egos. And anytime that we're making use of a man-made object, whether it's technology, anything man-made, in order for us to use these objects, we will have to operate through the ego. Unnatural things always put the body in positions where it can't be used holistically. And this is what sourced the imbalance effect, okay? Now, ladies and gentlemen, these forces are basically trying to stop our subconscious minds from being in our lives, and this is all done by preventing us from accessing the energy frequencies of our subconscious mind. And the way that these forces are designing this stuff, they are designing the body in such a way, no matter what it does, it will never find a state of balance. And this is to prevent our subconscious minds from being able to manifest, from being able to be put into activity. Ladies and gentlemen, our subconscious mind is sourced by balance. And this balance literally comes from the fusion of contraction energy and expansion energy, the fusion between masculine and feminine. Ladies and gentlemen, all things in nature, all natural beings, all animals, insects, fishes, all life forms, they will all naturally live a life that is balanced between contraction energy and expansion energy. This balance is what is known as nature. And this formula is basically found everywhere in the wild. All beings, in some way, shape, or form, they'll find the perfect balance between these two energies. And basically, guys, these forces are trying to ensure that humans are unable to do this. Instead of being in balance, these forces want us to operate from one energy and to basically operate from one energy and neglect the other. Ladies and gentlemen, the best analogy to put it to you guys, we can say that we have two brains, okay? One brain is forever expanding, all right? And then our other brain is forever contracting. And we could just say this is our right brain and our left brain, respectively. Now, guys, the subconscious mind literally sees the whole body as a brain. So basically, one side of our body is powered by our expansion brain, and the other side of our body is powered by our contracting brain. And in order for our bodies to be in balance, we'll have to use both brains in harmony and symmetry. These forces are trying to prevent us from doing that. They want us to operate from only one brain at a time. Now guys, these forces are basically targeting what makes the body able to expand and contract, ladies and gentlemen. And that is the many different spirals that make up our bodies. All of the spirals within the human body, all of the spirals that make up the human body, these forces are trying to weaken these spirals. These forces are trying to break these spirals. They're trying to stretch them out. They do not want these spirals to be functional. Now guys, this video we're going to be focusing on our subconscious mind, and due to the infinite, I'm talking infinite different movements that are capable of the subconscious mind, it will be almost impossible for us to truly break down all of the unnatural movements. Okay, so in this video we're just going to narrow it down. We're going to sum it down to the main specializing positions that are used to force humans to go against their nature, to force humans to be more ego-based, okay? And these main specializing positions that are used globally to manipulate us, these positions are: 1, standing up with shoes; sitting down; walking with shoes; and laying down on an unnatural surface. All right. These are the 4 main specializing positions they use to manipulate us mainly, guys. So basically, guys, this is how they get us. All right. They specialize our bodies to function with unnatural movements. From the day that we're born, we are taught unnatural movements. The human body molds itself based on this principle. The more of the same type of movements that we do, you know, the more ingrained these movements will be within this liquid that makes up the human body. This fluid holds memory. And they are designing the body in such a way, they want us to operate based on the data that has been recorded within the waters of our bodies for all this time, instead of for us to operate within the now. The now is always new. The now is always different. There's always a different type of frequency that is being called upon. No. These forces are trying to specialize our bodies to remain in a limited range of motion, to remain in an ego existence. And this is done by having us always do unnatural movements so that this can get downloaded into the waters of our body. And then all they will do is take away the capacity for the body to operate in the now, and this will force the body to operate based on its memories, when the body goes to the memories, all that's there is unnatural movements. And they're basically trying to force the body to stay in an ego existence, to stay in energy levels that does not call upon the subconscious mind. As we know by now, the human body has primarily two forms of movement. The human body can expand and it can contract. I would like everybody to know now, expansion energy is literally what these forces are exploiting within the human body. They are exploiting the fact that our bodies are capable of expanding and contracting, and they're basically trying to keep the body in an expanded mode of operation. And this is to prevent us from being in positions or movements or doing anything that returns us to our source. These forces are trying to prevent us from generating energy our bodies can use. They want humans to remain in an expanded state of operation. And this is to anchor them within disconnection. They do not want us to learn how to generate power within our bodies, and this is all done by returning to our source. They do not want us to do that, and the best way of preventing us from returning to our source, this is done by strengthening all of the things that we use to expand. All right. And all of this is done through keeping us in the cycle of standing, sitting down, laying down, and walking. They make sure that all of our expansion mechanisms, they make sure that these parts of ourselves are stimulated, they're always online, they're always working, and all of the contracting mechanisms of our bodies, all of the things that we use to return to our source, they do not allow us to activate these parts of our bodies. If all we do is sit down, stand up, walk, and lay down, the body will only be comfortable doing these activities because it has been specialized to do these activities. If you don't use it, you lose it. By not engaging your grounding muscles, by not using those parts of your body that allows us to ground, we will lose the ability to ground, ladies and gentlemen. Until our bodies are able to rest and return back to its original position, the body will experience stress, all right? It's just like a spiral. If you strengthen the spiral, you have to relax it so you can return back to its original position. The body's the same way. Anytime we use expansion energy, all of the parts that are affected will experience stress until we're able to return our bodies in its original relaxed state. In order for the human body to distribute its intelligence throughout itself, I would like to bring something to your awareness, guys. Relaxation is a requirement. The body must be free of tension in order for it to distribute its intelligence throughout itself. In order for the subconscious mind to be able to create energy that allows us to experience expanded consciousness, ladies and gentlemen, our inner world must be free. Our inner world must be flowing. Our inner world must be open. Ladies and gentlemen, all of these expanded positions, all of these positions that spread the body out and keep it like that for long periods of time, these positions require us to contract our inner muscles that surround our inner organs, okay? Our abdominal muscles, a lot of the muscles that we use to power our many different organs, all right? We'll use these muscles to support our cells, and this is not how it's supposed to be done. Now, guys, these forces use stress within the body to create a break in the intelligence flowing through the body. Once they're able to create a spot of tension or any type of stress, this area will not be able to receive a distribution of subconscious intelligence. And the way that these forces are designing this stuff, they want to ensure that at all times we have a break within our bodies, that our bodies are constantly experiencing a break within the flow of information. Now, guys, these breaks are basically used to force the body into parts, okay? Once there's a location within our body that is not receiving subconscious intelligence, these parts will shut down subtly, all right? They will have subtle shutdowns, and once these areas are unable to get a subconscious intelligence distribution, all the areas affected will only be able to function out of the ego, all right? Basically, guys, our whole body is designed to operate intelligently throughout the now, as long as it's connected to the subconscious mind. Any area of our bodies can respond to the now. Any area of our bodies can be in unison with the totality of all of the intelligence coming from the now. That's how our bodies are designed. Once there's a location within our bodies that is separated from this intelligence known as the subconscious, we will not be able, those body parts will not be able to function independently. Instead, they will shut down, and the only time these body parts will enter activity will be when our egos trigger them. They won't be able to be triggered subconsciously, and that's basically how these things work. As we know by now, guys, in this video we're focusing on the four major specializing positions they use to make us ego based. And basically all these positions, standing up, walking, sitting, and laying down on an unnatural surface, all of these positions produce the same break that these forces are exploiting within the body. And that break is these forces are trying to separate our lower half of our bodies from our upper half of our bodies. They are basically trying to disconnect our torsos from our legs. And that's basically the main break they're trying to enforce in our bodies. They're trying to basically disconnect our upper body from our lower body. They're trying to disconnect our positive pole from our negative pole, and this represents the masculine and feminine. They don't want these two poles to be able to connect and be in balance, so they use breaks to stop the intelligence from flowing equally in our bodies, and this will force us to operate more from our upper body or more from our lower body. If you investigate your movements, guys, a lot of times when we engage in unnatural movements, when we're doing something, if you really investigate yourself, you will find that you are only using certain body parts while neglecting others. For example, standing up. You might be moving your hands frequently, but your legs stay in the same position, they stay in the same spot. Or you might be sitting down. You might be moving frequently, your upper body might be moving freely, but your whole lower body will probably be stagnant. It won't be moving. And I would just like y'all to see, anytime that we move in this manner, anytime that we're using body parts, we're using a part of our bodies instead of the whole body, this influences an ego existence. This influences the conscious ego energy field to take manifestation. And breaks is a requirement. As long as they can create a break through keeping us in an unnatural position, these positions will naturally encourage us to use our bodies in a separate manner, to use our bodies in a non-holistic manner. Now, guys, to sum everything up, I will basically say this. The core of this manipulation going on globally is all being sourced by forcing humans to lose their ability to ground themselves, guys. That is the #1 agenda behind all of these specializing positions. They are basically trying to ensure that all of the spirals, all of the lines of energy that we use to ground ourselves, that we use to contract our bodies, that we use to return to our source, all of these lines, guys, this manipulation is all dependent on these lines of our bodies being ineffective, being non-functional, being broken, basically. Ladies and gentlemen, the subconscious mind needs both expansion energy and grounded energy. It needs both expansion energy and contraction energy to produce balance frequencies. It needs both of these energy charges to produce whole balanced vibrations. It uses expansion energy and contracting energy to produce energy frequencies that are then experienced as higher states of consciousness, all right? And if you prevent our subconscious minds from being able to holistically use these two energy charges, this is how they get us, basically. They're basically forcing us to only be able to create only one charge of energy, because the other energy we use to balance, is no longer working, and that's how it's done. Ladies and gentlemen, when these lines of energy are not functional, this sums up to us losing the ability to relax our cores, all right? If the human body is not able to ground itself, this means more than likely we'll be in positions that keep our cores at stress. Grounded positions, squatting, walking on all fours, natural positions all relax our cores. And by destroying all of the motion lines we use to ground ourselves, this sums up to us losing the ability to naturally relax our cores. Instead of us to squat, we'll no longer be able to squat, and the only way we can relax is by sitting on our ass. And they're basically forcing us to never actually be able to relax our bodies. Alright? Now guys, allow me now to show you the formula of this manipulation. The way that it works is this, guys. If they can somehow, some way, force the body to enter stress, as long as our bodies are in stress, there will be certain involuntary responses that will go on within our bodies. And these responses is even why all of this manipulation is even in existence right now. Alright guys, real quick, what we have on the screen is the human nervous system. And a quick reminder guys, we have our sympathetic nervous system and we have our parasympathetic nervous system. This part of our nervous system, the sympathetic nervous system, it is used primarily for activities, fight or flight. And our parasympathetic nervous system is basically used for rest, relaxation, sleep. Now guys, just like I said earlier, the whole universe is constructed with the same universal code found in all life. And the human body has both masculine and feminine energy. Without these two energy potentials, life will not be able to be possible. And all I would like to show you here, our sympathetic nervous system represents masculine energy, and our parasympathetic nervous system represents feminine energy. Relaxation is all about the subconscious mind. Relaxation helps the subconscious mind. And we can see now that when we have any type of stress, when we're putting ourselves into action, when we're engaging our bodies, we are calling upon our sympathetic nervous system. Real quick guys, all I would like to show you here is this. Each time that we assume a conscious existence, each time that we use our sympathetic nervous system, whether it's from stress, whether it's from us fighting or flighting, whatever it might be, all I would like to show you here is that the energy of our sympathetic nervous system, it inhibits the subconscious mind, as you can see. It inhibits the stomach and the intestines, and these are the main holograms. And this only happens when the body makes access to stress and other sympathetic nervous system frequencies. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, in a nutshell, these forces are exploiting the very design of our bodies. And they're basically exploiting the many different involuntary responses that go on in our body when we are under stress. As we know by now, guys, stress inhibits the movement, the mobility of our subconscious minds. And ladies and gentlemen, this basically translates to us losing the ability to breathe subconsciously, guys. The human body is incapable of breathing subconsciously when it's under stress. The only time the human body is able to breathe in a way that activates our subconscious mind is when it's relaxed or when it's in a stress-free state. Anytime we feel stress, guys, we involuntarily will hold in our breath, guys. And this happens anytime you feel stress. This is primarily because of how our bodies are designed. Our adrenals does not go by our thinking. Instead, it goes based on our body mass. It goes based on the distribution of pressure. It goes based on our movements. It cannot think, guys. And when we move in a way that produces stress, when we are in positions that produce stress, the only way that the body can protect itself, it will trigger the cutting off reflex. It will trigger a reflex that cuts itself off from the now, because the now is now producing stress. And that reflex is the reflex to hold in your breath. And this basically sums up to us losing the ability to breathe properly, guys. Now, guys, just to sum everything up, they are not just using stress to prevent us from being able to breathe properly. One of the main agendas going on right now, they are trying to subconsciously give everybody the unnatural habit of holding in their gut. They are trying to force the stress reflex of restricting the motion of our intestines. They are basically trying to force that reflex in us, and they would like for us to hold in our guts, to hold in our stomachs at all times, ladies and gentlemen. Standing up, sitting down on chairs, laying down on unnatural surfaces, all of these unnatural movements that we do in society, yes, all of these movements give the body subtle stress, but behind the scenes, ladies and gentlemen, these movements are subconsciously training the body to hold in its stomach. It's subconsciously training the body to hold in the gut region, to restrict that motion, to restrict the motion in that region. And basically, to sum up this manipulation, we can say the original pressure point of our bodies, our core, is the original main pressure point of our subconscious minds. They're literally trying to change this pressure point to be the main pressure point of our egos. They want to reverse the function of our cores, and they want it to instead, they want our cores to not be used to activate our subconscious. Instead, they want our cores to be used as the main activation tool for our egos. And basically, guys, this unnatural tendency to hold in our stomachs, this unnatural tendency to hold in our guts, it produces a break within our bodies, all right? And this means, guys, as long as we're holding in our guts, as long as we're holding in our stomachs, no matter what we do, no matter what movement we partake in, us holding in our guts will force us to use our bodies in a conscious manner. We will not use our bodies holistically. No matter what movement that we do, as long as we hold in our guts, this will force us to move in a conscious way, and we wouldn't even know that this is what's going on behind the scenes. Yeah. Now, guys, these forces, they need for us to be ignorant of the nature of our bodies. All of these manipulations is all sourced through our ignorance of ourselves. And this video is intended to give as much information as possible so that we can have a better idea about how our bodies truly function, okay? Now, guys, these forces are giving us the unnatural habit of holding in our guts. They're using many different They're using many different strategies to achieve this, all right? And guys, one of the main tools they are using to ensure we acquire this habit, ladies and gentlemen, these forces are literally using the power of perception, guys. These forces have the most dangerous weapon known to man, and that's literally perception, perceptional information, guys. These forces are using the media, as we know by now. These forces use the media to give us false ideologies, false perceptions, false beliefs about reality and about ourselves. And they know once this data, once this ego-based perceptional information gets approved by us, once we begin to believe in these perceptions, all right, we'll live by these perceptions. And right now, guys, these forces literally control our perception of beauty. Nobody truly knows what's beautiful anymore. We have been told what beauty is. And just to get straight to the point, one of their agendas, they have to somehow, some way, make human beings believe that having a six-pack is desirable. They gotta make human beings believe that having a six-pack is healthy. And the icing on the cake is this, guys. They have to literally make human beings believe having a six-pack is natural. Ladies and gentlemen, these forces have literally set us up for our own self-destruction, all right? They have literally made the flat stomach the symbol of health. And all humans that are in this system, all humans that have been manipulated by their many trickeries and their many false perceptions, they are running around trying to chase this so-called flat stomach. Ladies and gentlemen, we need to be honest with ourselves, okay? We really need to be honest with ourselves. This might sound crazy, but ladies and gentlemen, a six-pack, what we know as the six-pack, is a highly unnatural way of keeping our bodies, all right? In order for somebody to obtain the six-pack look, they have to acquire this sucking in gut habit. They have to suck in their guts in order to showcase the six-pack. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like everybody to know now the way that our bodies are naturally designed. Our bodies are designed to move with gravity. Our bodies are designed to be used holistically. And basically, guys, our stomach region, if you observe all animals, due to the fact they have gone their whole lives living subconsciously, they have not acquired the unnatural habit to suck in their guts. They are always keeping their bellies in such a way it moves with gravity, not against it. And what I would like everybody to realize now, there is no animal that has a six-pack. All right? There is no animal that will naturally suck in their guts the way that animals move, the various positions they keep themselves in, all of these natural positions animals engage in never put their bodies in such a condition they have to suck in their gut. They always move in a way that maintains relaxation in their center, and that is their core. Their cores remain relaxed at all times, guys. And us, on the contrary, since the day that we was born, we have been forced to engage in unnatural positions that beneath the surface has been conditioning our bodies to suck in their guts. All of these unnatural positions force the body to move against gravity and not with it. And this is what trains the body to get into the habit of sucking in his gut. Now, guys, the way that these forces operate, they operate through ignorance. They need us to be ignorant about ourselves and about reality in order for a lot of these manipulations and mind controls to be possible. Now, guys, like I said earlier in this video, the center of our bodies is literally our core. All of our movements, all of our activities, everything that our body does on a deeper level, the body behaves as if all of its activities are being sourced by our cores. It is our core that distributes all of the energy our body uses for all of its different functions. And ladies and gentlemen, it's time for us to see the reality of a lot of these illusions. Having a ripped, fit six-pack, having a ripped body is actually a prison for our subconscious minds. We are literally looking at a human being that has been hijacked by the ego energy field. All of these muscles, all of these unnatural tendencies we have received from this society. Get a flat stomach, get ripped, strengthen your core, get a flat stomach. All of these things reinforce what they would like for us to have in our bodies, and that is restrictions that stop our subconscious mind from being able to activate. Like I said earlier, guys, once we suck in our guts, no matter what we do, we will always call upon our conscious mind. The body needs to be free of any type of break. The subconscious mind needs its energy to be distributed evenly, equally all around the body. The subconscious mind needs for the whole body to be nourished by its energy field. And once there's a break anywhere in the body, this shuts off the subconscious mind, and the conscious mind then gets activated. These forces are literally installing a break around our subconscious minds. All right, they're installing a prison around our subconscious mind, and this prison is all of the muscles we end up contracting at all times when we suck in our guts. And this is one of the main agendas of body modifications to humanity right now. The bizarre habit, the unnatural habit of sucking in our guts will make everything that we do come from our egos, and we wouldn't even be aware this is going on. Ladies and gentlemen, there is no coincidence that animals are superior to humans in speed, strength, and other natural abilities. We need to realize that everything that we know about our bodies, everything that we know about muscles, strength, everything that we know is half-truths. We have literally been fed lies, all right? We believe we have to work out our muscles in order to strengthen our muscles. We believe we have different body parts that needs to get exercise. Ladies and gentlemen, the reality of our bodies is this. All of this strength that is being generated in our muscles is not coming from the muscles itself. All of the strength within our bodies is coming from our core, and that is our belly region. We don't know this, all right? Nobody taught us this. So we strengthen our different body parts thinking that's how we strengthen ourselves, but it does the opposite. It weakens us because this is not strengthening our center. Instead, it's strengthening our body parts. Ladies and gentlemen, animals are superior to humans physically due to the fact of how they keep their center. They literally strengthen their whole bodies, and they literally strengthen their centers in a holistic way. And this is all sourced by their ability to keep their center relaxed. The more open and relaxed their center, the more energy can be distributed to their many different muscles, the more energy can be distributed to their many different organs and energy processes. And basically, guys, animal strength is not coming from their muscles, it's actually coming from their subconscious mind center. They are able to distribute this intelligence all around their bodies without restrictions. And us, on the contrary, instead of for us to strengthen our subconscious mind center, which is our belly, learning how to relax this region, learning how to keep it open, learning how to move holistically, you know, they don't teach us how to do this. Instead, they encourage us to strengthen our many different body parts, all right? While totally neglecting the nature of our cores. They are forcing us to go against our nature and to acquire a flat stomach without us realizing that this is the main cause of us being weak. This is the main cause of our many different muscles not receiving the energy supply that they need. And all of this manipulation is all sourced by our ignorance. They need for us to not know how our bodies are designed in order for us to walk in circles. In order for us to never know what's going on a deeper level. Yeah. So as you can see, guys, it is natural to have a round, open belly. It is seen everywhere in nature. All animals that are all natural beings, they don't have six packs. All of them have free, relaxed, open bellies. And it is natural for our bellies to acquire this shape. All right? And as you can see how these forces work, guys. They make what's unnatural the symbol of health and beauty in our world. And we don't even realize what's going on a deeper level. By misleading the public, making them believe that it is actually healthy. Oh, what's up, brother? By misleading the public, having us believe. What's up, man?
All right.
Yeah, just doing a YouTube video, man.
All right, man. That's good.
So as you can see, guys, by making natural beings, we're natural beings, humans, we are natural beings, by giving us these false perceptions, they are using these false perceptions as a tool, as one of the main tools for us to eventually go against our nature. They know that once they can make the flat stomach the symbol of health, that's one of the ways to ensure a lot of humans will eventually develop a conscious body instead of a subconscious body. That's one of the ways to ensure we unknowingly cripple ourselves, okay? Okay, so now let's get further into this video, shall we? Even though this video is long, guys, we're going to breeze through this video, trust me, all right? Now, guys, as we know by now, like I said earlier in this video, the ego is only sourced by certain frequencies. The ego is only sourced by certain consciousness frequencies. And all of these frequencies is what is known as contracted consciousness. These are the frequencies that we end up producing when we're only using one side of our brain, all right? Anger, pride, guilt, shame, embarrassment, all of these negative emotions all come from us using only one side of our brains. And not only that, all of these negative emotions also come from us not being in the now. All right? Ladies and gentlemen, the ego is sourced by these frequencies, and allow me now to show you why us having a flat stomach is so important. Ladies and gentlemen, we must purify this ignorance right now, and we need to truly establish in our minds that everywhere in our bodies is connected to our cores. Everywhere in our bodies behave as if it is being sourced by our cores. And literally, our brain is no different. Our brains behave as if it is being sourced by our cores. And this is how everything works, guys. In reality, our brains are receiving information and energy from our cores within every given moment. All right? And this energy that gets applied to our brain is what we use to power whatever state of consciousness we might be experiencing within the moment. Just like the subconscious mind in reality, the subconscious mind is powered by balance. The brain is also no exception. In order for us to experience the higher states of consciousness, we must keep our brains in balance, guys. And basically, they are forcing us to never allow our brains to achieve balance. Now, guys, the direct hologram for brain balance is all based on how we position our skulls. It's all based on how we position our heads, all right? And basically, all of the subconscious states of brain activity, all of these expanded states of consciousness, they require us to be level-headed. They require us to be balanced, level-headed. They require for us to have our chin, to have our whole cranium region to be anchored and stabled, all right? And basically, guys, all ego, mind frequencies, all of these contracted states of consciousness that are associated with negative emotions and whatnot, all of these states of consciousness is sourced by us not being level-headed. Instead, we are tilting our heads to, you know, different regions of activity. Now, guys, this is what I would like everybody to realize, all right? We're going to have to breeze through this part of the video. I would like everybody to realize the ego is truly sourced by our eyes, all right? These forces, the ego's original design, the ego's original function is to be used to obtain information, to obtain light information about our environment. And basically, this sums up to us using our ego to see. We use our egos to do nothing more than to see, all right? Ladies and gentlemen, At this point in time, forces are literally using the ego not for us to see, but to manufacture all of these negative emotions that are experienced as contracted consciousness, that are experienced as ego consciousness. And this is how it works, guys. Our stomachs supply energy to our brains. This is a current of energy, all right? And when our stomachs are open and free, this supplies the optimum amount of energy to our brains. As long as our stomachs are open and free, this will allow the correct energy distribution to make it to our brains, all right? And this will enable us to be level-headed and to see, to obtain information about our environment, all right? Now, guys, if after a human being acquires the unnatural tendency to hold in their gut, if a human being chooses to hold in their gut, this will restrict the energy that's going to our brains. This will make the energy distribution that's going to our brains to lessen, all right? And basically, if the brain is not getting enough energy to handle the moment, all right? If it's not getting enough supply of subconscious intelligence to actually be anchored in the moment, we will have an unconscious reflex. The body will have an involuntary reflex anytime the ego doesn't receive the proper energy it needs for that moment. And that reflex is for our heads to drop. Anytime we don't supply enough energy to our higher chakras, this will force involuntary reflexes that involve us tilting our skull, all right? And each time we tilt our skulls, this is what summons our egos. Ladies and gentlemen, we need to think about our lives. What happens when you're under stress? When you're faced with something that you don't have enough energy to handle? What if you're walking down the street and you see somebody approaching you and you just feel uncomfortable? What do? You drop your head, don't you? You look down, all right? You look on the floor. This is the ego reflex, guys. Each time we drop our heads, instead of for us to use our egos to see the environment, to obtain information, we are no longer using our egos to see. Instead, once we drop our heads, we are using our egos to produce thoughts that vibrate on the contracted consciousness frequency. And when we drop our heads, most likely we'll be thinking thoughts of humiliation, we'll be thinking thoughts of shame, we'll be thinking thoughts of guilt, pain, all types of stuff. And all of this is sourced by our brains not getting the required energy it needs for the moment. Sucking in your gut will always restrict energy that is supposed to go to our brains, to power our eyes, to give us the strength to see. If we don't give our bodies the strength to see, we will involuntarily drop our heads, guys. And once we drop our heads, that will summon the ego, and the ego will just start thinking negative thoughts. It'll just start thinking crap. And this is what goes on over and over again, all right? It happens instantly. It happens in such a way you wouldn't even know that it's going on, but these forces set up a world, they set up an environment in such a way it's constantly happening. Every 30 seconds, it's constantly happening. You're looking at something, it overwhelms you. You look down. You look at something else, it overwhelms you. You look down. You look at something else, it overwhelms you. You look down. And this is all because we are walking around holding in our stomachs, not knowing this is restricting our brains. This is restricting the energy that is supposed to go to our eyes to give us the strength to view the world. We don't know that sucking in our stomachs is the very reason we can't even look at people in their eyes, all right? And we just had to break that down. Yeah, guys, and like I said before, a lot of these technologies that we end up using, they force us to operate through our egos. A lot of these technologies, a lot of these items that we use oftentimes force us to drop our heads, guys. And this will also call upon the ego, all right? And basically, anytime we drop our heads, this basically calls upon the ego. This can be you reaching and get your keys for your car. This can be anything. They're exploiting all of these involuntary reflexes that go on in our bodies. They have mastered our bodies, and they know what happens when we do certain things, all right? So a lot of these items that we end up using, the way that this world is set up, even though stress is not making you drop your heads, probably something innocent will probably make you drop your head, and this will summon the ego. It happens instantaneously, but that's just how it works. So I just want y'all to see that formula, all right? Anytime that we drop our heads, it creates a break within the intelligence frequency, and that enables us to experience ego consciousness. Our eyes are used to acquire information about the environment. Our higher chakras are not used to drop, all right? Now guys, this video is intended to give us tools to allow us to begin to receive guidance from our subconscious minds. We're literally living in a system that doesn't want us to learn how to tap into our natural guidance center. They don't want us to receive any type of guidance from our subconscious mind. And basically, guys, as we know by now, this is sourced by restricting our subconscious mind. Now, guys, I know there's a lot of viewers that experience social anxiety. There's a lot of people that are experiencing stress, anxiety, shame, guilt, contracted consciousness. There's a lot of people that message me, and they tell me about them not being able to handle the moment. And right here, guys, I'd like to show you how subconscious guidance work, okay? Now, guys, I drew this picture real quick, and what I'm showing you here is how the subconscious mind works when we allow it to function the way it's supposed to function. Now, anytime that you feel stress, this video is designed to show you how to activate your subconscious mind, and also how to, this video is designed to show you how to activate your subconscious mind anytime you find yourself experiencing contracted consciousness, all right? Now, guys, anytime that you feel stress, all right, anytime that you're experiencing contracted consciousness, more than likely you're either not breathing or you're sucking in your gut, all right? Now, guys, I'm showing you this picture just to show you what goes on in the body so you know what's going on. Anytime that you feel stress, what you need to do, you need to inflate your stomach, and this is done by just pushing it out. Once you push your stomach out, this automatically frees up all of the restrictions and all of the tension that is basically blocking our subconscious minds from distributing throughout our bodies. And the way that it works is this, guys. Once you push your stomach out, there should be a current of energy that you feel. It's a subtle current of energy. Once you push your stomach out, it basically bursts up, right? And this energy will subtly give you the strength to keep your head up, all right? It will basically give you a push to be upright. It will help you to basically help you to raise your upper chakras so that it can do what it's here to do, and that is to obtain information from the now, all right? Now, guys, when we suck in our guts, this is what's happening on a deeper level. Instead of our subconscious mind being the main pressure point, once it's open and free, it will be able to push all of the energy where it needs to go in our bodies, all right? Instead of for our subconscious mind being able to do this, when we suck in our guts, there's a restriction, and the energy that is supposed to go up to our higher chakras that gives us the strength to stand tall, that gives us the strength to look at the world, that gives us the strength to be level-headed. Anytime that we suck in our guts, guys, this flow of energy no longer makes it to our higher chakras, and this results in us basically being overwhelmed by the now, all right? And this is experienced as contracted consciousness. Ladies and gentlemen, it sounds simple, but it's very powerful. Anytime that you feel stress, you need to immediately activate your subconscious mind, and this is done by just pushing it outwards, all right? And wherever the max point is, wherever your stomach gets to, wherever the max point is, from that region you breathe and you do the process again. You get to the maximum point of your subconscious mind, and from there you breathe. You need to breathe from the maximum point of subconscious distribution, and this alone will activate your subconscious mind, and this will allow more energy flowing through your body, all right? Now here, this is somebody that's holding in their gut at all times. There is no longer any current that is freely flowing through their bodies, and basically this results in them feeling like shit. So yeah. Now guys, this current of energy, not only is it for our higher chakras, it is for the whole body, okay? And as long as you can keep your subconscious mind activated, you will receive guidance on how to keep your body within the moment. Your body will naturally give you feelings on how to keep your arms. It will naturally give you feelings on how to keep your legs. This is experienced as a current of energy that basically opens your body for you, all right? It will make it easier for your body to be open, and you will feel it, trust me guys. And so in a nutshell guys, when we activate our subconscious mind center on an energetic level, this becomes the positive pole of our bodies, and this will be the positive pole, while the whole body will then become the negative pole. And what that means is, when the whole body is the negative pole, while this is our positive pole, this means the whole body will be more receptive to the intelligence that's coming from this center here. But if we choose to go against our original nature and acquire the unnatural habit of holding in our guts, this changes the energetic distribution. This changes the energetic properties of our subconscious mind. And instead of this being a positive pole, this will then become a negative pole, and our whole bodies will then become positive. And this means, guys, our bodies will no longer be open to the intelligence coming from here. Instead, our bodies will be functioning from ego-based intelligence and whatnot. I want to bring awareness to as many topics as possible so that we have a greater idea of how our bodies function. And guys, like I said earlier, a lot of our movements, all of our movements, are literally coming from our subconscious mind center. The whole body behaves as if it's sourced by our cores. And what I would like to let everybody know now, there is a good chance a lot of our movement lines that travel all across our bodies, that we use to move our bodies, a lot of these movement lines have been restricted behind the scenes, and This is basically for all of the people that engage in physical activities. If it's yoga, if it's Tai Chi, if it's Kung Fu, if it's sports, whatever it might be, guys, we are suffering from ignorance. We don't really know how our bodies function on a deeper level, and out of this ignorance, we have believed the illusion. We really have to work out our many different limbs and our different body parts in order to strengthen them. And what I would like everybody to know now, all of your movement lines are all being sourced by your subconscious mind center. Ladies and gentlemen, this video is intended to show you guys how to restore a lot of your lost movements. There's a good chance you're not using your full movement potential. So guys, I would like to challenge you guys, alright? All you have to do is to literally get into the habit of returning your subconscious mind to being the original pressure point of the body. And that basically means refrain from sucking in your gut, guys. If it means that you have to push out your stomach outwardly at all times, then you do it, guys. And basically, guys, when you push out your stomach, depending on the state of your intestines, you should feel movements, whether it's liquids, whether it's rumble, whatever it might be. Anytime you push your stomach out, there is movements that are going on beneath the surface. And basically, guys, there are people that train in the gym. There are people that exercise in order to move better. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the true core of your movements. All of your movements are truly coming from your subconscious mind. And by returning your subconscious mind, by allowing it to be the pressure point that it's supposed to be, within a week or two of you refraining from sucking in your gut, just get into the habit of leaving your gut outward, all right? Push your stomach out by giving your body the environment it needs to distribute its subconscious intelligence, by giving your body the optimum environment for it to power the many different movement lines. This will allow us to activate all of the dormant movement lines we unknowingly have caused. So guys, all you have to do is basically get into the habit of pushing out your stomach. Anytime you find yourself holding in your stomach, push it out, all right? And basically, about a week or two, or maybe a couple of days, you will find your body will become more flexible. Your body will become stronger. Your body will become more holistic. Your body will become more energetic. And basically, you literally have to do this to experience it, all right? Yeah, guys, so I would just like for us to realize our movements are truly coming from our core, and the more free, the more relaxed, the more open this region, the more efficient are many different motions, all right? Since we have been sucking in our guts through all of these unnatural positions, more than likely a lot of energy lines has been restricted, and it will take time for these energy lines to become functional again. And this is all by us refraining from sucking in our gut and then giving these energy lines the energy they need to function, and that is from us freeing up our guts, all right? Now guys, we also, a lot of times when we perform actions, when we're doing anything, when we're doing any activity, a lot of times when we perform actions, we get in the habit of holding in our breath to perform physical actions, whether it's us carrying something, whether it's us pushing something, whatever it might be. A good way to avoid this ego reflex of holding in your gut when you do physical activities, anytime you're about to do something physical, you need to take a good breath. Just breathe.
and that alone will allow you to avoid sucking in your gut when you're doing physical activities. All right? By breathing before you do an action, this will give your body a quick jolt of subconscious intelligence. If I was to carry something and breathe first, this will allow me to remain in a subconscious mode of activity. But if I hold in my breath and just start doing physical activities, this will, reinforce the ego reflex. Also, guys, by now we should realize that at all times we have subconscious intelligence that is being distributed all around our bodies. And basically, anytime you find yourself feeling ill, or you're feeling kind of off, or you're feeling tired, or you're not really at your A game, a good way to neutralize all of these feelings, I suggest that you squat. Anytime you feel tired or weak, all you have to do is squat, and this will basically give your body a negative charge, and this will allow the whole subconscious intelligence to be distributed in a more efficient way, and this will help you feel better. This will help neutralize your tiredness. This will help neutralize whatever off feeling you might be feeling. By this subconscious distribution is going on at all times, and when we feel ill, the best thing we can do is to make it easy for our bodies by squatting or grounding our bodies or assuming a natural position that makes the subconscious intelligence more easy for the body to distribute. So anytime you feel off, just squat and breathe in a squatted position, and this will be enough to really help out the subconscious distribution in neutralizing whatever we're feeling. Alright, now guys, one of the best exercises you can do is to get into the habit of engaging in holistic movements, walking on all fours, imitating natural beings. Basically, moving in holistic ways is one of the missing keys to fitness right now. By training holistically, by moving your body holistically, this is the best way to strengthen your subconscious mind. Alright? So if you want to strengthen your subconscious mind, it will be a good idea for you to get into the habit of putting natural movements into your workout regimen. Doing a bear crawl, walking on all fours, all these things strengthen your body in a holistic way, and this activates your subconscious mind and so forth. Alright guys, as you can see, this video is very long. In all honesty, I was not even able to talk about all the things that I wanted to talk about. The subconscious mind is a very vast subject, and I didn't get a chance to talk about breathing and other things that relate to the subconscious mind. So please, I know I spoke a lot in this video about animal movements and all types of things. I would just like everybody to know now, I'm not finished even talking about this whole subconscious mind topic. I would like for us to see this as a briefer, as just a brief introduction to a lot of the videos that will be following that focuses on the subconscious mind. Alright? Like I said, guys, I was not able to really speak about everything I wanted to speak about in this video. So I will say this, guys. There is nothing wrong with contraction energy. There is nothing wrong with expansion energy. There is nothing wrong with tilting your head. All of these things are necessary in this life that we live. Our subconscious mind needs different types of movements in order for life to be possible. Alright? And I would just like for y'all to see that even though all of these different movements that we do have its own reaction in the body, alright, there is nothing wrong with these movements, alright. For us to experience the higher levels of consciousness, we need both expansion energy and contraction energy to experience it. What good is experiencing higher states of consciousness if you can't ground this energy? What good is grounding yourself if you can't expand? All right? The human body needs flexibility. It needs to be able to use all forms of energy in order for us to be what we are, and that is consciousness. All right? So just know, tilting your head and all that stuff, nothing is wrong with it. All right? I'm just trying to give you information on how the body functions on a deeper level. Now guys, like I said earlier in this video, basically our subconscious mind is a magical tool that attracts the now to us at all times, and basically they're trying to slow down this process. They want to give the illusion that life is linear, so that a lot of these mind controls and a lot of these systems can be maintained. All right, so I wasn't really able to focus on the law of attraction in this video, but trust me, it is coming, guys. All of it will connect. But with what I have already given you in this video, I would like for us to realize there are two realities right now existing. We have the conscious reality, and then we have the subconscious reality. All right? Yeah, so basically, guys, I'm just going to sum it up like this. All right? We have basically two forms of breath, and that is the in breath and the out breath. As we know by now, without these two different forms of breathing, life would not be functional. All right? And what I would like everybody to know now, by restricting our cores, and this is our gut region, behind the scenes, this interferes with the attraction pulse that is pulling things towards us. All right? And basically, when we leave our guts out, this gives us a greater capacity to attract to our aura field. And if you're very sensitive, you will notice when your subconscious mind center is activated, people will respond differently to you guys. People will be more connected to you, and this is because you are connecting to them at a subconscious level. Your subconscious center will be making more connections within the now because it's unrestricted. All right? And basically, they are using these restrictions in our gut to prevent our subconscious mind from having this attraction force. All right? Not only that, guys, like I already said, we have two forms of breathing, the in breath and the out breath. These two forms of breathing have their own magnetic charge. The in breath pulls things towards you. The out breath repels things. All right? And basically, anytime that we hold in our guts, we are anchoring our energy field in the out breath. We'll be breathing out more than we're breathing in, and this just results in us not being able to attract things to ourselves. All right? So basically, guys, if you're trying to manifest something, we must realize that the now is the only reality, and there is no such thing as time. And basically, the best way to attract something to you is to think about it as you're breathing in. All right? Think about whatever it is as you're breathing in, and basically breathing out repels things away from you. And I know I'm briefing this. I'm gonna speak about this more in depth, but basically they're using these restrictions to always keep us in the out breath, so we'll be unknowingly pushing people away from us, repelling them instead of attracting them. And by activating your subconscious mind, you might even surprise yourself how people respond to you. Okay? Another thing, guys, I was not able to fit everything I wanted to fit in this video, so I'll just leave this with y'all. The easiest way to give your subconscious mind the boost that it needs is to free up all of these blockages within our core. Fast, hydrate yourself, flush out your intestines. You can use your own waters, distilled waters, fruit juice, whatever it takes. Try to liquefy your intestines. Try to return it to its original state, and that is a water system. Allow this region of your body to be free and flexible, and this is done by refraining from having a whole lot of mass, a whole lot of shit in your intestines. Try to flush it out. And basically, fasting, freeing up our intestines, give our subconscious mind the energy that it needs to do its job. Like I said earlier, the human body literally operates as if it is being sourced by liquids, alright? And all of these blockages in our cores, you can see it as forcing all of these liquids that could have gone to our many different body parts. When we have these blockages in our stomachs, it basically forces all of these liquids out of our many different body parts in order to digest whatever is going on down there. And I would just like for y'all to see that on a deeper level, the body truly operates as if it's powered by liquids. And basically, fasting is the easiest way to manifest things. If there's anything you're trying to manifest, you need to supply your subconscious mind with more energy. And your subconscious mind already has all the energy that it needs. It's all of these blockages that has prevented it from doing its job. So if you want to help your subconscious mind, if you want to make the attraction process easier, get rid of these blockages. And the best way of doing that is fasting. Free up your intestines. Go a couple of days without eating, and this will help you attract whatever it is that you're trying to attract. If you're trying to attract something, like I said, we are communicating with our subconscious minds at all times, and when you breathe in, you're basically attracting, alright? And when you think about something as you breathe in, you're giving your subconscious mind a message it will understand. Your subconscious mind will then get the message to attract whatever it is that you're thinking. Yeah, so if you want to attract something, all you have to do is know in your heart all that really exists is the now, and all of these illusionary perceptions about time and distance and all this shit, it is not real, guys. Everything is happening now, and the best way to attract whatever it is you want to attract is to breathe. All you have to do is to breathe, and this will give your aura the attraction force it needs to attract things. Like I said, guys, this video was too long. I was not able to go in depth into all of these subjects. So the main core of this video, I just want to bring awareness to the subconscious restriction sucking in your gut has on us, alright? And if you're suffering from any type of anxiety, activate your subconscious minds and push out your stomachs, and this will allow you to have strength to absorb the now. This will allow you to basically tolerate the now. And if you want to move better, if you want to restore your movement lines, all you have to do is to free up your intestines and to allow all of these movement lines to get nourished once again. I know I spoke a lot in this video, guys. Trust me, I'm not going anywhere. I do apologize it took me so long to produce this one. I had a lot of technical difficulties. Believe it or not, this is the third time I had to do this video. Each time I did it, my file got corrupted, and it was just a big mess. But I got everything fixed. I will be more consistent, and more videos are on the way, okay? There is no cause of anything. You know this, right? Love you guys. Peace.